A big shout out and hello to everyone out there on the internet today. My name is Wes with Uncorrupted Data. Again, my partner in crime Mikey is very busy at the moment, so it's just going to be another solo UCD of me just chatting away about some stuff that's going on in the gaming industry at the moment. So again, thank you for tuning in and let's get started. Now, I work in games retail in Australia, obviously, and I've been noticing a trend from some of my customers that have been coming in, particularly with a game that's been scheduled to release in late 2015. Now, this game, Tom Clancy's The Division, looks utterly fantastic. The more I look into this game, the more I'm excited, the more I want to play it. But here's the thing, it was officially delayed. And the reaction of some of my customers when they come in is incredibly negative. Now, we've seen it over several games over the last couple of years that have got the, here it is, this is what we're doing, sorry guys, we're postponing it. Two of the big ones that I can think of over the last couple of years would have been Project Cars and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Now, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt just launched in Australia. I've been lucky enough to be sinking some time into that game, and I've got to say it is utterly brilliant. It's polished, it's fantastic. I can fault it somewhere, like that the main story hasn't grabbed me just yet, but there is so much other stuff to do in this game. It's no biggie really. And Project Cars, if you're a motorsport fan, this game is brilliant. There's so much to do. You start from a basic karting career and work your way up to whatever discipline that you want. Again, there's some minor faults that we can pick with Project Cars. Like, it'd be nice if they had Formula 1 instead of Formula A, but that's just a licensing issue. But here's the thing. When those two games were postponed repeatedly, again and again, I got massive negative feedback from the customers that were asking me questions about it, and from the comments I'd see online and things. But in my opinion, postponing a game isn't necessarily a bad thing. I can understand why you'd be disappointed that a game that you've been looking forward to for, 12 months or so does get postponed for another 6. That is a bit of a kick in the teeth and it is disappointing. But again, it's necessarily not a bad thing, because game developers are out there and they're working so hard to bring us a polished product. Now, can you imagine if a game like The Witcher, they brought it out when they said they would, and it was unpolished, it was buggy, the story was half finished, then they announced 4 or 5 DLC packs that's just stuff that should have been in the normal game. That would get more negative feedback, and the gamers would, throw their hands up and go, why can't you just release a finished game? Well, that's exactly what they were able to do by postponing the product and bringing it out to us at a later date. Sure, it was probably not the best idea for them to postpone it repeatedly, but the end result is a fantastically playable, great looking, polished game that is very hard to fault if you're into the fantasy hack and slash RPG genre. Now, if we look at Project Cars, again, they were releasing betas and they was giving it to the fans to have a bash at, and they were getting fan feedback, and the fan feedback was saying, oh, we'd like this feature, how about we try this, what if we do that? And these guys, Slightly Mad Studios, did the best thing ever, listen to their fan feedback and say, you know what, we can't do what the fans want in the time that we have. You know what, let's postpone the release. And again, the result is a fantastic looking game that is very playable. I failed to see the problem with the postponement. Yes, I was a bit bummed that I wasn't able to get my hands on the game as early as I'd like, but in postponing that game, they were able to add so much more polish and make the game so much better that, you know what, I think the gaming public should cut some slack to these studios, because postponing is a far better option than releasing a half-finished product. Now, as gamers, I'm sure we've all got a story where we were really looking forward to an upcoming title. It launched on time, we put the disc in, and then the game just fell flat, and it was just heartbreaking, where the game was buggy, the game was broken, it didn't have as much content as you expected. For example, Assassin's Creed Unity. I was so pumped after Assassin's Creed Black Flag Then Unity came out, which I was excited for, one of my favorite periods of history, French Revolution. But when the game came out, it was buggy, it didn't work the way it was supposed to, and I couldn't help but think, this game doesn't feel finished. It looks polished, but it doesn't feel finished. Now, in that sort of situation, I would have rather Ubisoft postpone Unity, fix those bugs rather than release a patch later, because the initial heartbreak of a game being buggy and being disappointing is far worse than them going, you know what, you have to wait another 2 months to play this game, because I would rather a studio postpone the game and release a finished, polished product than a studio releasing a half-finished product that they have to repeatedly patch later. When a studio postpones the product, it's not because they feel that they need to postpone it just to raise the hype. It's usually to fix a bug or to add more polish. As gamers, we shouldn't be going, oh damn, it's been postponed. Yeah, it's disappointing. We should be going, oh cool, they're going to be adding so much more polish to it. It's going to be so much better because of it being postponed. And as gamers, we need to understand that postponing isn't necessarily a bad thing. Postponing can make a game so much better. So give me a shout out, write it out in the comments if you've got a story of a game that you were really looking forward to that was postponed, or one that came out and left you feeling flat. Shoot it down in the comments there for me. If you have any other subjects you'd like me to have a look at, please feel free to contact me at uncorrupteddata@gmail.com. A big thank you for tuning in and listening to this episode of UCD. I'll be posting another one fairly soon. Again, thanks a lot guys. My name is Wes for Uncorrupted Data. I'll talk to you next time.